WUSA 9 Weather Impact is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Feeling the heat and storms, I'm Mary Marshall with this WUSA 9 Weather Impact Update. Hot today with a heat advisory. That is the big weather story from noon until 6 p.m. Hottest part of the day. It's going to feel like we're between 100 and 105 degrees. We do have storms in the forecast today, especially between 2 and 8 p.m. It won't storm that entire time if that is your window. These storms will be scattered, but the one or two that pop up could certainly produce some strong gusty winds and heavy rain. And then we're turning up the heat even more next week with high temperatures soaring toward the upper 90s for your Tuesday and Wednesday. So heat advisory covers D.C., Prince George's County, Charles, St. Mary's, just to name a few, basically areas south of D.C., even over to the eastern shore. That's going to go until 8 o'clock this evening, and the areas under the advisory could feel as hot as 105. Now, north of that, it's still going to feel like you're right around 100, so don't think that you're escaping the heat when it comes to that, and I encourage everybody to take precautions. In D.C. today, 93 feels like 104. By the hour, noon, we're at 90, feels like 102. By 2 o'clock, could see a storm blow through. 86 feels like 92. By 4 o'clock, 90 feels like 100. And by 6 p.m., 83 feels like 92 degrees. So if you've been out in the heat and all of a sudden, maybe you're nauseous, you're dizzy, you got a headache or cramps, could be signs and symptoms of heat-related illnesses. You certainly want to take your precautions there. So once we get past the heat, we turn our attention to the storms. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. They've placed our area in a very low risk for severe storms on a scale of 1 to 5. This is about a threat level of a 1. However, it's not 0. You can see all of the area could see it at some point. A damaging wind gust, primarily maybe even some hail in 1 or 2 of these storms. So there is a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. If we were talking about a gallon of water, it'd be a gallon full. But think of lots of those gallons available in the atmosphere. And so we could get enough heavy rain in some areas to cause flooding. I don't necessarily see it widespread, but it's certainly possible that in a few neighborhoods that get caught up under one of those heavier storms, you could get some isolated flooding there. And then 1 or 2 of these storms could also produce a damaging wind gust. In 1 or 2 neighborhoods, there could be a tree branch that comes down, maybe even a tree that's in a weakened stage, or even some power outages will be possible in some spots as well. Sort of similar to yesterday, but 1 or 2 more around today. This is today in the afternoon at 12:30. Most areas are still dry. There's one storm that's popped up along 81. You might see a shower over D.C. Good chunk of the area is still dry. By 2 o'clock, we can see just a few more showers and storms coming in. And 1 or 2 of them, as you can see, could produce that heavy rain. That's that red that you see right there. And you can see it also as it pushes toward the eastern shore. But then you could be in Prince William County and Fredericksburg, and it could just be completely dry for you. So they'll be scattered out. That's what I mean by scattered. Some spots getting hit, other spots still dry. And then I move it back to about 4 o'clock. You can see some of these storms have shifted a little bit further to our south, or south of D.C. rather, but they are still packing a punch, right, with that heavy rain as they bust into Baltimore. Still some heavy downpours along with the damaging wind. And then this is at about 5 o'clock or so in the afternoon. Still some hit or miss showers and storms out there. Some areas are dry, but we could still see a storm anytime between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. So if you get a storm and it passes by and you happen to be outside by the pool and you want to get back in, it's a good idea to wait at least 30 minutes until that storm has passed before you go back outside. Here's why. That's a recommendation from the National Weather Service. It's because lightning can strike far away from the actual storm, upwards of 25, even 30 miles away from the actual storm it could strike. In fact, there was a record bolt of lightning that stretched 477 miles in the U.S. That was in 2020, from basically Texas up through about Mississippi, Georgia area is where that bolt happened to stretch across. Now we're going to get into a stretch of weather where we're going to see temperatures get below average by the end of the week. So we've got mid to upper 90s heading our way Tuesday, Wednesday, 90 by Thursday. And then look at this drop off to the 80s for your next Saturday, Sunday and Monday and Friday. We'll see those temperatures falling to the 80s there. It'll be below average. All right, your 7-day forecast. Look for temperatures right around 93 today, 95 Monday, 98 Tuesday. We're at 97 Wednesday, still 90 Thursday. Thursday looks like the stormiest day, while Tuesday looks like the hottest day. 82 Friday, 81 by Saturday.